Good evening, wanderers. You've tuned in again across the drift and hum to the place where one world brushes against another. The signal doesn't always find you, but tonight the veil is thin, and through it a story comes slipping across the mountains of Korea, foxfire in the shadows, lanterns flickering where no lantern should be. They call her the Gumiho, 9 tails hidden in mist, beauty sharpened by hunger. Lean closer, let the signal carry you through the pines, and listen, for in the quiet her story is waiting.
Have you ever walked through the mountains at night? The air is sharp. The trees stretch tall, blocking the moon. Every sound seems too loud until silence presses in and you wonder if the forest itself is listening. And then you hear it. A cry. High-pitched, not quite animal, not quite human. In Korea, they say such cries belong to foxes. Clever creatures, cunning, patient, always watching. And if a fox lives long enough, 100 years, 500, 1,000, it changes. It grows 9 tails. It learns to walk as a woman, and it becomes the Gumiho, the 9-tailed fox spirit. Beautiful, terrifying, and unforgettable. The Gumiho story is older than many kingdoms. For centuries, foxes have been feared in Korea, not only as animals, but as tricksters and omens. A fox that lived long enough was said to gain power. At first, it might only take human shape at night, still betraying itself with animal features, glowing eyes, sharp teeth, a shadow with tails. But after 1,000 years, it was said to grow 9 tails, the mark of transformation. With 9 tails, it could take on the perfect form of a woman. Perfect. Too perfect. Because behind the beauty was hunger. The Gumiho was said to feed on human flesh, most often the liver or the heart, the organs believed to hold life itself. And so, the legend spread as a warning. Do not follow strangers into the dark. Do not be fooled by charm, for beauty may hide fangs. The Gumiho was never just a monster. She was a reflection of society's fears, desires, and rules. In the Joseon dynasty, Confucian values shaped daily life. Women were expected to be pure, loyal, and obedient. Men, too, were warned against temptation and desire. And so, the Gumiho became a story of both. To men, she was a warning. Do not be led astray by lust or beauty, for it may destroy you. To women, she was a shadow, a reminder of what happens if one steps outside society's rules, becoming too cunning, too free, too hungry. But she is not only a warning, she is also tragic. Some stories say she longs to become human, that if she resists her hunger for 1,000 years, she may shed her tails. Some tales even claim that if she finds true love, a man who loves her despite knowing what she is, she may live as a woman at last. Imagine the struggle. 1,000 years of resisting the pull of blood. 1,000 years of longing to belong. 1,000 years of trying to be what you are not. The stories change depending on who tells them. In some villages, the Gumiho is always evil. There is no hope for her, no redemption. She lures, she kills, she devours. But in others, she is pitiable, a cursed creature trying to earn humanity, stumbling again and again. Some tales speak of her Yowu Gusul, a fox marble she keeps in her mouth, glowing faintly. It holds her power, her knowledge, her spirit. If a human swallows it, they may gain wisdom, even years of life, but the fox will hunt them until it is returned. Other stories tell of Gumiho who live in villages, hiding their tails under long robes. They marry, they raise families, always watching the shadows in fear of being revealed. If discovered, some flee, others vanish in smoke. And there are darker versions still, stories of men who betrayed a Gumiho, abandoning her after discovering her tales. In those tales, the man rarely survived long after. The fox's grief could turn to rage, and rage into hunger. The mountains of Korea are steeped in Gumiho tales. Travelers walking alone speak of women appearing suddenly on the path, a lantern swaying, a smile too perfect. She walks beside them, speaking softly, until they notice the shadows behind her, tales shifting like mist. Fishermen claim they have heard fox cries near rivers. At times, they follow lights to the shore, only to find no one there. And sometimes, they say, the laughter continues, echoing across the water, though no figure is in sight. In some rural villages, foxes were blamed for disappearances. A child vanishes from a yard, a man fails to return from hunting. Whispers rise. The Gumiho has taken them, and even now, hikers tell of unease in the forest. A sudden silence, as if the birds have fled, a sense of being followed. And then, a woman steps into view, hair shining, eyes glimmering, her smile a little too sharp. One legend tells of a young scholar, walking home at night. A woman with a lantern appeared, her voice kind, her manner warm. She invited him to her house. She cooked for him, she sang for him. But when he looked, he saw her shadow cast against the wall. And there, 9 tails fanned out like smoke. He fled into the night, and they say his screams echoed through the valley. Another tells of a hunter who wounded a fox. When he reached the body, it was no fox that lay before him, but a woman, bleeding. Her eyes locked onto his, wide with sorrow. Before he could breathe, her body dissolved into mist, leaving only a faint lantern behind. And there are darker stories of men found in the mountains, their hearts missing, their bodies cold as stone. Of families who swore a woman appeared at their door, her eyes fixed on their children, her smile never reaching her eyes. The old advice remains: if you see a woman alone in the mountains, do not follow. If you hear a fox cry at night, do not leave your home. If you feel eyes watching you in the forest, do not turn back. Look to the shadow. The shadow cannot lie. If it shows tails, you must leave. Slowly, quietly, never run, for the fox runs faster. And if she offers you food, do not eat it, for in some stories, the first bite binds you to her. If you ever glimpse her marble, her yowu gusal, do not touch it. Even if it glows with wisdom, even if it promises power, it is hers, and she will never forgive its theft. Above all, do not bargain. The Gumiho's hunger is older than any promise, older than any love. A deal will only delay what she craves. The Gumiho has not faded with time. She lives on in modern Korea, in dramas, films, and stories. On television, she is sometimes a villain, devouring men under the cover of beauty. Sometimes she is tragic, torn between her hunger and her love for humanity. In some dramas, she even finds redemption, a woman cursed by her tales, searching for a way to live as human. To younger generations, she is more than a monster. She is a symbol of longing, of transformation, of identity. A creature who wants to belong, but who cannot escape what she is. And yet, in rural places, the old warnings remain. Even as the Gumiho appears on bright screens, her shadow lingers in the forests and mountains. If a stranger smiles too sweetly in the night, if laughter echoes where no one stands, perhaps her tales are waiting, just out of sight.
And so the signal fades, wanderers. The lantern goes dark, the tales drift back into mist, and the mountains hold their silence once more. But the night is long, and there are always more voices waiting just beyond the veil. If you wish to walk beside me again, let the signal know you heard it. A mark, a trace, a small echo left behind. It helps the broadcast find its way back to you and to others wandering in the dark. Until the next bleed of worlds, keep your lantern close and your shadow closer. This is Octo closing the signal.